If you are a high achieving man who has achieved success financially, you've got the money, you've got the cars, you've got the house, you've got the ladies, you've got all the material success, but you still feel empty inside. You still feel that after all of your accomplishments, you still feel that hole inside. This video is for you. This is the complete identity transformation system. The reason why you still feel empty after accomplishing material success is because you were taught by the matrix that achieving material success was going to fill that wounded boy, that boy that's looking for love, that's looking for praise, that's looking for validation, adoration, affection. And so, what it really is it's an identity problem. Okay, understand that everything that we are chasing in our life can be achieved through changing the identity. And so that's what I've created. I've created this program called the Complete Identity Transformation System. My name is Gary Gilgan. I've been studying the subconscious mind and how to reprogram the subconscious mind to create anything that you want to be, do, or have in life. You want to become rich. You want to create the life of your dreams, create, everlasting love and fulfillment in your life. Then you must go to the root of your reality, and that is the mind, and that is the subconscious mind. And so, hopping right into it, is most transformation programs fail for the same reason. They change what you think, they don't change who you are. So, this system doesn't teach you about identity, it helps you install a new one. Helps you install true confidence, courage, certainty, abundance, defined, conditioned, anchored. So, this takes about 60 to 90 minutes once you understand the process. It's pretty easy. If you want to learn more about it, I actually create audio recordings that you listen to every morning before you get out of bed and every night before you fall asleep that actually walk you through this exact process. But once you really understand how it works, then you start to see life differently. You start to see how your old identity is actually causing you to make certain decisions, how your old identity is actually feeling certain feelings, and then those feelings cause a reaction, and that reaction produces results. Once you become aware of it by like almost stepping out of your body and seeing how you operate day to day, and then you start installing the new identity, you start feeling different emotions. Those emotions produce different reactions or actions, and then you produce new and different results. So that's what my work helps you to accomplish. So most transformation programs fail for the same reason. They work on the surface. They update what you know, what you intend, what you believe consciously. They're working at a conscious level. They give you a new framework to look at your life through. And for a few days, sometimes a few weeks, it works. You feel different. You see things differently. You act differently. And then the old identity reasserts itself, not dramatically, but quietly, like a tide coming back in. Your behavior drifts. The decisions revert back. The voice in your head goes back to what it was saying before you read the book. It's like, when you get on, oh, I'm going to change my body, I'm going to lose a bunch of weight, and you really got on track, you start forcing your willpower, which is conscious level. You start going to the gym, you start eating healthy, but that healthy food doesn't taste as good as the foods of the old identity, which make you feel different. They give you comfort, they give you satisfaction. And then it just takes a period of time, just takes a period of stress, fear, worry, anxiety. And the next thing you know, you're making a decision to have just one chip, one beer, one ice cream, one toke of the bowl. Okay. It just takes one. And the next thing you know, the old identity is taken hold. Okay. So this is not a failure of effort, it's a failure of installation depth. What you experienced was a surface level update. The underlying operating system, the subconscious identity model your nervous system runs 24 hours a day, was never touched. And that model runs deeper than any conscious belief, any intention, any amount of motivation. Everybody wants to be ripped, to be rich, to have the most beautiful woman. Everybody wants that. But at the end of the day, is that wanting is never going to get you there. You have to literally go at a subconscious level, and because you have a belief, if you're not ripped, rich, and have a beautiful woman and living the life of your dreams, it's because you believe at a deep subconscious level your identity is I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not valuable. You're telling yourself a story, and then your story is just reinforced and reflected back to you in the reality that you're experiencing. This session goes to the level that actually determines your behavior. It does not teach you about identity, it helps you install a new one. Confidence, courage, certainty, abundance, defined precisely, conditioned systematically, and anchored so that you can return to the state deliberately and in any situation. The full installation takes 60 to 90 minutes. The daily maintenance takes about 5 minutes a day, but it's 5 minutes practice, throughout the day. Okay, I do it when I go on my walk every day. I did it this morning when I'm out hitting golf balls in my simulator, when I'm doing push-ups. So I'm doing it constantly now. The result is not a new mindset, it is a new identity. You are not here to learn about the man you could become. You are here to become him today in this session. This video right now has the power to completely transform your life if you take it seriously. Because in life, and this goes for everything in life, you will get back what you put into it. Period. Always. End of story. The reason your life is the way that it is because of what you've put into it, what you've allowed to circulate in your mind. Because at some long time ago, when you were a little boy, you believed what people told you about yourself. I'm a loser, I'm fat, I'm ugly. Or you learned from the experience of your parents. Making money is hard, losing weight is hard. My parents, my family, my DNA, whatever it is, isn't attractive. These are all learned ideas that you have installed in your mind. You can change them, and I'm here to help you do that. The complete identity transformation system. Install confidence, courage, certainty, and abundance. Like I said, the time required for the full installation is 60 to 90 minutes, and then maintenance afterwards. So here's the complete system. It's a 6-step system. First, you're going to create a new blueprint, a new identity. Remember, your identity, it's already been installed in you. You think certain things. When you look in the mirror, or you look at your bank account, or you look on the scale, or you look at your girlfriend, or you look at your car, you look at your house, you look at anything in your life, that is giving you a radical representation or reflection about the blueprint that you have installed. You have to create a new one. And then you have to collapse the limiting evidence. Your identity is built on evidence. You have evidence. Every time you get a paycheck, that's evidence. It's reinforcing the evidence. Oh, you're only worth $2,000 a month. It's reinforced. Oh, your weight is this. You're chubby. You're whatever it is. It's reinforced evidence. You have to start building new evidence. You have to start competing against yourself. Okay? You've got to build the new evidence database. Just like I said, you got to start pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. Start going out and hustling, learning to make more money. Start doing push-ups. Start beating your own personal best. Start going for walks. Start eliminating any environment which reflects the old limiting evidence, which is very hard for people. Okay, amplify and install. Okay, we're going to amplify the emotions, these emotions specifically, and we're going to install them. Future self integration, very important. That's again part of my my audio recordings, my SIRT recordings, is that you're gonna take time every day to actually step into the future and see yourself as your ideal self, ripped, rich, okay, whatever you want, relationships, I don't know, okay, whatever. And then daily reinforcement. You got to listen to those recordings every single day, 90 days. Most people can't do anything for 90 days, but that just shows that they don't want it bad enough. Okay, this system is structured as a complete intervention, not a collection of tools. This each part performs a specific function in the installation sequence. Again, I'm not here to try to teach you anything. I'm here to give you a specific set of instructions that if you will follow, because I can't walk the walk for you. Okay, if you knew anything about me 20 years ago, you'd see I made a radical transformation in my life. Radical. Even in the last 10 years, even in the last 2 years, I've made a radical transformation in my life. Okay, because I want it bad enough. I want to win the game bad enough. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. You got to look in the mirror and ask yourself that same question. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to create your dream life? Okay, part one, we already talked about, defines the target identity. What does your dream ideal man look like? What does your ideal self look like? How much money? What car do you drive? What kind of clothes do you wear? What kind of watches and jewelry do you wear? What does your ideal life look like? What does your dream girl look like? Okay, parts 2 and 3, clear the old evidence and build new evidence. Your current identity is the reflection of the evidence that you are repeating every single day. Okay, part 4 installs the identity through full sensory amplification. You got to practice this shit. You got to go talk to strangers. Start going out and saying hi to 10, 20 people a day. Start learning how to introduce yourself to strangers. Get out there, start making new friends. Part 5 integrates the future self into the body with a physical anchor. Something like this. This is my physical anchor. When I'm in a heightened state, like even right now making this video, and I did this morning riding my bike, I'm anchoring the emotion that I'm feeling of success, of follow through, of courage, confidence, certainty, abundance. Okay, and then part 6 maintains and compounds the installation daily. Run all 6 parts in sequence. Do not skip parts 2 or 3 in favor of more appealing work in parts 4 or 5. Parts 2 or 3, you've got to clear out the old and install the new. Again, here's a big problem with information online these days is people are now using information as entertainment, thinking that you're going to get some piece of information and you're not going to have to do the work. You're not going to have to do anything scary. Like I said, you're not going to have to talk to strangers. You're not going to have to get good at conversating with people, getting good at making a video in front of a camera, talking to yourself. Okay. Most people aren't willing to do that. And that's why most people stay with the herd. They stay average and ordinary. Okay. That's why this is vitally important. Steps 2 and 3. The clearing work determines the depth of the installation. Okay, so part 1, identity blueprint. Okay, the subconscious mind cannot install an identity it cannot picture clearly. Abstract intentions produce no data. The more precisely you can define the target identity in behavioral, sensory, and energetic terms, the more effectively the installation will hold. Again, man who shoot at nothing, sure to hit it. That's what my mentor Bob always said to us. You've got to get crystal clear about what you want. Okay? If you went to the store and you could have anything you want, and they said, "Okay, what do you want?" And you say, "Oh, well, I don't know." Well, I said, "How the hell are we going to give you anything if you can't tell us exactly what you want?" So get clear. Okay? Write the answer to this question. What kind of man naturally embodies confidence, courage, certainty, and abundance? Describe him in detail. How does he walk? How does he speak? How he decides? How does he approach opportunity? How does he handle difficulty? Okay, think about that. Think about your ideal self. Do you walk with your head down and your shoulders slouched and your back hunched? Or are you up and proud? Are you lean back? Are you proud? Proud of who you are, confident in who you are? How do you speak? Like me, I'm speaking with certainty. I know this stuff. I use this stuff. I live this stuff. How does he decide? Do you take your time and get into analysis paralysis? Or when you see an opportunity or you see something that makes sense, you make a decision and you move forward? I've invested over $25,000 in this last week in my businesses. And how does he handle difficulty? Does he let it just reinforce the old identity? Oh, I'm a loser. I'm always just going to lose. Or does he look like a winner and say, oh, well, what did I learn? What can I gain from this experience? Okay. Keep it realistic but powerful. This becomes your identity blueprint. Write at least 200 words. Do not summarize, describe. The sensory specificity of this blueprint is what the installation anchors do. The man you describe here is the man this session installs. Okay? Let's go through this real quick. So keep it realistic but powerful. This becomes your identity blueprint. The subconscious mind cannot install an identity. It cannot picture clearly. The more specific the blueprint, the faster and deeper it installs. Right? At least 200 words. Make it vivid. Make it true. This is the man you are becoming. You can even go so far as to find men, either real men or fictional characters, Batman, Jordan Belfort, Don Draper, okay, 007, Andrew Tate. I don't know. Figure it out for yourself. But find men who you look up to their qualities. You want to be like them, and then get specific about what qualities you admire about them. Watch how they walk. Listen to how they talk. Watch it. Andrew Tate, 007, Batman. Watch those movies and watch how they walk. Watch how they talk. Do you think Batman sits and, oh my gosh, I wonder if I should save that girl or not? Hell no, he's jumping in there and kicking ass. Okay, how do you think Jordan Belfort approaches opportunity? He takes the bull by the horns. How did he handle difficulty? Like a man, he went and did his time and came back out and rose back up to the ranks because he has a very strong identity. Okay, step 2, collapse limiting identity evidence. Most limiting identities come from a small cluster of emotionally intense memories. What I want you to do is get yourself a journal. Well, I mean, here's right here. You can see here's my identity blueprint. I keep it with me everywhere. I can fold it up, put it in my pocket. It's always with me. Okay. So I know exactly who I am. I know exactly where I'm going. But get yourself a journal. Okay. When you're doing this work, one, you can write down your 200-word description of the man, your ideal self, your ideal identity. Okay. And then what you're going to do when it comes to collapsing limiting identity evidence is you're going to go back through your memory in your past when you were a child, and you're going to bring up the memories of when you were told, when did you learn the things that you believe about yourself today? When did you learn that you're a loser, that you're not good enough, that making money is hard, that there's not enough money? Where did you learn these things? Who told them to you, or where did you overhear them as a child? Okay, write them down. Because before building new identity evidence, the existing limiting evidence must be neutralized, not suppressed, not bypassed, systematically dismantled at the representational level. So it loses its emotional charge and its hold on the identity model. So, what we want to do is you want to literally take those memories out of your mind and you want to put them down on paper. Where were you? Who was around when you learned these things, when you told these things? I mean, let's say you have a severely traumatic identity where you were told you're going to be a loser, you're never going to be good enough. Maybe you were even hit. Boom, that's an anchor along with an emotional charge. Write it down. You want to get it out of your body and onto paper. That's part of the neutralization process, so you can actually look at it, relive it, recount it. Okay, this is not therapy. It is a technical process. You are not processing feelings about the past. You are changing the way the brain files those memories. Okay, collapse limiting identity evidence. Okay, so step one, identify limiting beliefs. Write any limiting beliefs you carry. For example, I hesitate sometimes. I'm not confident enough. Money is hard. I doubt myself. Go even further. Okay, making money is hard. There's not enough money for me. I'm not worthy. Okay, let me give you another example. Let's say you grew up in a single family household where your dad wasn't around. You are going to naturally have a virus. These are viruses. Think of your subconscious mind like a computer. You have a virus running in that, why am I not good enough for him to want to be in my life? Man, I mean, I got a 10-year-old son. He's my best friend in the world. I love him more than anything. I would do anything for him. And I have a dad that has been very active in my life, my whole life. Man, I love him so much. I'm so grateful that I had a dad. But I can really empathize with guys and men that didn't have one. Man, I feel really bad for the guys that didn't, because you have a virus and now you have to overcome that. And I'm here to help you overcome that. I want you to know that. I really do feel for you. And man, I really do. That's why I do this work, because, man, I know that more than ever, the world needs men who have healed these wounds. But I can't do it for you. So you got to go through. You got to be brave enough. You got to be man enough. You got to have courage to go back and to pull this shit up, to open the closet, pull all the skeletons out. So does that example make sense to you? If you grew up in a single family home and your dad wasn't around, think about the memories when you were all alone, maybe at night, thinking, man, where's my dad? Why doesn't he love me? Why doesn't he want to be in my life? That's what you came here for, to figure that stuff out. But I want you to know now that you have a friend. You have a brother in arms. I'm here to help you with that. That's why my gift is to help you with that. Because I've got all my shit. I've been working on this for 20 fucking years. I believe me. I'm in the fucking trenches. Okay. Okay. Step 2, surface the source memories. For each limiting belief, ask, what events made me believe this? We just went through that. Usually 3 to 10 memories appear. The ones that you're ready to process and get down on paper. I can't tell you how valuable it is to get it down on paper. Write them down. Those are the ones that your subconscious mind, your identity, your body is ready to release, are the ones that come to the surface. Okay, step 3, the 4-step collapse protocol. For each memory, shrink the mental image. Again, you're going to want to do this after you have them written down. Close your eyes and see the image in your mind. And you're going to shrink it down. You're going to make it as small, like the size of a postcard. And then you're going to move it far away so you can barely see it. Okay, then if it's got any color in it, you're going to drain it of any color, make it black and white. If it's black and white, make it fuzzy, make it gray, make it faded. Okay, and then you're going to lower the emotional intensity. And doing this process should do that on its own. You're going to do that with all of those memories. Okay, then after the collapse, you're going to reclassify each memory with accurate, neutral language. Okay, and these are just examples. I wasn't uniquely weak, I lacked preparation. I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. Those events no longer define what I'm capable of, or those events no longer define who I am. Okay? The memory category empties. The experience loses its negative charge. The limiting identity loses its primary evidence base. You are now ready to fill the space with something new. Okay, part 3, build the new evidence database. Your mind determines current identity by scanning for patterns. Flood it with new data. Guess what? The only way to be more confident is to do confident things. The only way to be more courageous is to do courageous things. The only way to be abundant or have abundance in your life is to do abundant things. Be generous, be grateful. Okay? That's it. There's no book you're going to read, there's no video you're going to watch that's going to magically fucking change your life. You're going to have to go out and do the work. Okay, identity is not installed through declaration. It's not installed through affirmations in the mirror. Those help because they help you get clear, but you have to go out in the work. It is installed through evidence density. The brain scans for recurring patterns. When it finds them, it files them as identity. When you encounter a new problem, decision, challenge, risk, commitment, or opportunity, it scans the database and predicts your response based on what it has seen before. So, when you go around a group of hot babes, guess what? Your mind scans its database, and guess what? Pussy rises to the surface. So you stumble, you don't even approach. Okay, when you do approach, you got nothing to say. Okay, because you haven't practiced confidence. So got it like this, very black and white, because it's all math. It's all math. Okay, let's say you've got to go and you've got to practice confidence 100 times. And on the 100th time, by the time you get to 100, you're going to be very much more confident than you were on time 1. So you got to go out there in the field. If you want to get good with girls and talking to girls, you got to go out and approach them. And then you got to go on dates and you got to get good at talking and asking questions and playing games and flirting and shit like that. Guess what? By the time you're on the 100th date or you've approached the 100th group of girls, you're going to be really good at it. By the time, let's say you want to learn how to sell, by the time you pick up the phone 100 times or you knock on the 100th door, you're going to be really good compared to the first time you did it. You have to go out and create new evidence. The evidence will show you, one, there's nothing to be afraid of. No one's going to smack you. Maybe they might if you say something real stupid, but hey, I've said some real dumb shit. I think it's hilarious. But most people don't have the same level of humor I have, but I'm there to entertain myself. Okay? But I've never been slapped. I've never been hit. I've said I mean, I've again talked my way out of getting in fights, things like that, because hey, I'm just joking. I'm just having a good time, but it's very offensive. Okay. I'm there because I'm courageous. I'm confident. I'm silly. I'm just having a good time. Hey, you took it a wrong way. I didn't ask your wife if she wanted to be in a gangbang. I asked your wife if she's ever been in a gangbang. Inside, inside joke. You got to be there. Okay. This part builds the database of the new identity deliberately, category by category. Okay. So build the new evidence database. Okay. Make it an intentional time. Like it's your job. Go out. Okay. I remember many years ago, I was in a company and I had to go out and hire people. So guess what? I used to walk around downtown and I used to walk up to strangers and say, "Hey, I own a financial services company and I'm looking to hire good people. Are you open to a money making opportunity?" No. Okay, cool. Have a good time. Or here's my card. If you ever change your mind, here you go. Then if they say, yeah, then boom, okay, now you're open. Here's the next part of my pitch. Here's my card. Give me your name and number. I'll follow up with you. We can set up a meeting. So easy. Same thing with chicks. It's the same thing. Okay. So, but it was a part of my job. Again, if you want to get good, if you want to create a new identity, if you want to achieve and to live your dream life, or if you already got money and you got girls and all that stuff, then what I talked about is about the wounded boy. Like that stuff's really going to help you. But if you're someone that suffers, you're jerking off all the time, you're watching porn, you feel like a loser, your life's going nowhere, okay, and you need a massive identity overhaul, okay, you're going to have to go out in the field. You got to play the game, okay? And so you're going to have to go out and practice these things. Okay, so for each category, write at least 3 real experiences. They can be small. The brain needs pattern density, not scale. The moment of decisive clarity in a minor decision counts exactly as much as a major one. What matters is the category, not the magnitude. So, certainty, moments you acted decisively. So, what we're doing right here is we all have times where we've been these qualities. But what's happening is you have way more counter examples. You have way more times of being uncertain. You have way more times of being unconfident. You have way more examples. That's why when you go up to a bunch of girls or you go to pitch a deal or whatever it is, the reason you feel insecure is because you have more evidence of being insecure than you do of being confident. You have to tip the scales, and the only way to tip the scales is do it. Okay. So, what we're going to do right here again in your journal, you're going to write down memories of when you acted certain, moments where you acted decisively, moments where you made a call without needing consensus, speaking up, speaking your mind. Okay. Choose a direction under uncertainty. You chose a direction under uncertainty. You had a fork in the road and you had to make a decision. Held your position when challenged. Stated your view without apologizing for it. That's certain. I know who I am. I know what I believe in. I know my values. I know my qualities. That's certain. Okay, confidence. Moments you spoke powerfully. I would hope that watching this video, you can feel it in my voice. You can feel it in my presence that I'm very confident in front of the camera. I'm very confident about this stuff. Okay. Times when you maintained your presence in a room. Times when you led naturally without forcing it. Times when you made eye contact and meant what you said. Times when others moved toward you because of how you showed up. Courage, actions that felt risky but were aligned with your values and goals. It takes courage to invest money. It takes courage to quit your job. It takes courage to break up with a toxic relationship, a relationship that's not what's best for you. It takes courage to stop hanging around with people who aren't going where you're going. Okay. Courage. You committed when you were afraid. You stepped forward when the easier choice was to wait. You did the uncomfortable thing. Abundance. Moments of flow, value creation, opportunity seized, or generosity given. Resources arrived when you needed them. You created something from nothing. You recognized and acted on an opportunity where others missed. For me, abundance, to generate more abundance, is you've got to give what you want. If you want love, you've got to give love. You've got to be the source of love. If you want money to come into your life, you've got to go out and you've got to be generous. Okay. I'm a very big tipper. I believe a lot in tipping, especially when I get good service. Um, and just being generous in general. I love taking my friends and my team out to really in fact, we have play a game where we go out and we see how much can we spend. How much can we spend at the steakhouse? How much Louis 13 can we drink? I don't drink anymore, but when I did. Okay, those type of games. I love it. It makes my friends feel good, makes them feel, and then it comes back. But one thing it doesn't talk about in here is gratitude. It's being grateful for all the money that has come into your life. Being grateful for when, the solution presented itself even in the last moment. Being grateful if your parents are still alive and you can call them right now and tell them you love them and hear their voice. Grateful for all of your friends. Grateful. That's abundance. Leadership. Times others followed your energy without being asked to. You demonstrated a quality, mastered a new skill, achieved a result, or showed up as someone worth following. Any domain counts. Future self, where you already see the pattern emerging, where the identity is already showing up. Excuse me. The mind uses this to predict forward. Once the pattern is recognized, it begins to treat the future as a continuation of it. Create new evidence every time you act on a problem, solve a challenge, commit to a direction, choose a path, pursue a bold vision, or generate resources. Eye on the pattern, replay it vividly. The field around you becomes the identity. Let me give you another example. So again, I have a 10-year-old son. We live right on the river, and we go on. We walk almost every day. I homeschool him, and so part of PE, let's call it, we go on walks, and we have a game where we say hi to people. We say hi to people, and we give them compliments. And so, just like it's saying here, is that hey, the first day, for the first few, it's you feel the game, you got to just say hi, but the old identity is in there. So that thing, that mind, that self that prevents you from looking at someone and saying hi, that's the old identity. You got to break through it and say, hey, I don't care what their response is. I'm doing it to be confident. And now I'm saying it so many times, saying to everyone, couples, ladies, men, everyone, holding eye contact until they walk past or they look away, because now I'm confident in it. It's that simple. Okay. Part 4, amplify and install. Full sensory immersion in the new identity. This is where it enters the subconscious. Parts 1 through 3 were preparation. Part 4 is the installation. You take the evidence you have built, amplify it to full sensory saturation, and let the nervous system process it as real identity data. Excuse me, I thought I went through all these. The mind cannot reliably distinguish between a vividly experienced memory and a real event when the sensory representation is complete. This is the mechanism you are using. That's why, again, in my recordings, one, you want to practice this stuff every day. You want to practice feeling, being more generous, being more grateful, being more abundant, being more certain, being more confident, being more courageous. Practice it every day. So then at the end of the day, when you're listening to my recording and it's telling you to go back through your memory, then you're boom, you're bringing it up again. We want to create as much evidence as we possibly can to install it. We want to override like new energy that's just dissipating and dissolving the old energy. Okay, so this is a 5-part system right here. Okay, step 1, take an experience. Select the strongest memory from your evidence database, the one with the most emotional charge, the most clarity, the clearest sense of the identity you are installing. Step 2, replay it vividly. Eyes closed, step back into the moment. See what you saw, hear what you heard, feel the physical sensations in your body exactly as they were. Do not observe the memory, re-enter it. Step 3, add clarity and color. Make the image brighter, sharper, and more vivid than the original. Increase the color saturation. Bring it closer. Make it larger. Make it more real than the event itself. Again, and here's the thing is that you're not going to master this the first time. This is going to take repetition, just like your current identity, the one that's getting you a shitty life. Okay. It's been repeated and reinforced every day up until today. So, guess what? It's going to take time, effort, and energy for you to install a new ideal identity. But because you understand now, you can be even more intense and you can collapse time and springboard that new identity. Okay, add body sensation. Feel the field expanding around your body as you hold the image, a sense of groundedness, power, or clarity. Let it fill the room. Notice how this version of you occupies space. Step 5, past, recent, and future. Run the full sequence. Past proof, recent proof, the pattern is established. What comes next is simply the continuation of what already is. The future is not hoped for, it is predicted from data. Again, every night before you go to bed, if you did this, it will radically transform your life. 1, write down memories you have of being confident, talking to girls, confidently closing a deal. Write it down with as much detail as possible. And then when you're in bed, eyes closed, you're bringing up that, you be in that memory. Okay, then think of current memories and then see yourself doing it again. That's all you're doing. Building a new identity intentionally rather than letting life just come what may. Repeat until the nervous system is saturated. You will know when this has happened, there is a shift in the body, a settledness, a quiet certainty that the installation is landing. Again, you will feel more confident. When you feel more confident, you'll start taking different actions. When you start noticing, oh my gosh, I talked to that girl. I said hi. I introduced myself. I made a joke. I made her laugh. I got her number or I didn't. I got her Instagram or I didn't. That doesn't matter. The result doesn't matter. I'm just here to build confidence, to build certainty, to build a new identity. That is the ultimate reward you can get. Okay, future self integration. Step into the man you are becoming. merge his field with your body. Part 4 installed the identity through past and present evidence. Part 5 extends the installation into the future and creates a physical anchor you can use to return to the state in real time in any situation. So we have a five-step formula here as well. See, step in, perceive, anchor, repeat. So you see him. See the future version of you ahead of you, standing confidently, moving with purpose, fully integrated. This identity is not something he is working toward. It is simply who he is. See how he carries himself. See that man, your ideal self. I see mine. I've practiced it. I see him standing confidently, charismatically, courageously. Okay, then step in. Believe me, I make these videos for me as much as I do for you, because making these videos allows me to step into my courage, confidence, certainty, abundance. I'm doing it for me too. I'm feeling all those feelings. That's why even right now, here's my anchor, setting my anchor. Boom, here you go. Now I can be even more charismatic, confident, certain, courageous. Okay. 2, step in. Step into his body. See through his eyes. Feel his posture, his certainty, his ease. You are not observing him. You are him. Notice the difference in how the world appears from behind his eyes. Step 3, perceive. How does this man perceive the world? Do you think the world is against you? Do you think the world is getting worse or getting better? And would your ideal man think the same as you? Because I actually think the world's getting better. I think everybody who meets me likes me. Everybody likes me. Everybody loves me. I've got a fucking golden aura. Golden. That's how I perceive the world. How does he perceive other people? How does he move through a room? Confident, courageous, or insecure and uncertain about himself? How does he respond to pressure, to opportunity, to difficulty? Let yourself experience his perspective fully. Imagine yourself walking confidently through a party, noticing beautiful women checking you out, noticing all the guys wanting to talk to you, wanting to be like you, everybody being the life of the party. Anchor. Use a physical anchor. You can snap, you can whatever it is. I don't know. Okay. In fact, I got another one while I'm here. See about. I learned this from Jordan Belfort, getting your olfactory senses in. So, boom, boom, boom. Okay. It's an anchor, a physical trigger, a finger snap, a specific gesture, a hand position. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know. You got to figure out your own, Again, I'm not going to walk the walk for you. While feeling fully merged with the future self and in peak state, say internally or aloud, this is who I am. This is who I am. I'm practicing it right now. I'm practicing my ideal right now. I'm a billionaire investor and entrepreneur. I'm a world-renowned subconscious identity reprogrammer. I've been doing this for 20 years. I got me, Bob Proctor, my Uncle Bob right there, Uncle Tony right there. Okay, certified, baby. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Okay, this is who I am. Finger snap works well. It is discreet, fast, and can be used in any situation without drawing attention. Choose your anchor and use it consistently. Anytime. Anytime. This morning, I went on a bike ride and, pushing myself, doing sprints on my bike, just pushing myself. And man, after the second one, I'm dying, heart rate's out of control. My breath is, I'm just dying. Lungs are on fire. And I'm just in my mind, I'm so proud of you, Gary. And I'm just firing that. Boom, firing it, holding my triggers. Boom, I'm so proud of you. Just thinking, that's the feeling of success. The feeling of success is when you're done and you're on the floor dying. I used to roll in jujitsu and you're just dying at the end. That's success. You gave it all that you got. You left it all on the mat. I left it all on the trail. I'm pushing myself. That's success. Not money, not cars, not pussy. That's not success. That's temporary pleasure. That is not success. You've been bamboozled. Finally, repeat. Repeat the anchor 5 to 7 times while in full state. I've been doing it the whole time with you guys here. So thank you for being here. Getting my olfactory. So every time I smell this now and do this, boom, I'm confident. I'm confident right now. I'm certain of who I am. I know who I am. I know what I'm teaching you works. You got to do it though. Okay? Repeat until the nervous system treats it as a reliable pathway back to this exact identity state. So you got to do it a bunch. Everything is about repetition here. There's no magic bullet. There's no magic pill. Every overnight success has done it for 10, 20 years. The anchor is not a performance. It is a neural shortcut. Over time, firing it in a difficult situation no longer requires effort. It simply returns you to the state you installed here. Part 6, daily reinforcement every night. This is what makes the installation permanent. The installation from parts 1 through 5 is the initial rite. The daily reinforcement is what converts a one-time installation into a permanent identity. 5 minutes every night without exception. Nightly protocol. Every night, write what day you observed the new identity show up consciously. Update the ongoing evidence database. So again, write 2 or 3 examples every day. I did this and felt confident. I did this and felt certain. I did this and acted courageous. I did this to be more abundant. Where did the new identity show up today? Be specific. Write one real moment where the installed identity expressed itself. Use your anchor to re-enter the identity state briefly. Let the nervous system update around that day's evidence. Week by week, the pattern becomes obvious. The identity becomes self-reinforcing. What changes over time? As the installation compounds through daily reinforcement, you will notice these shifts in sequence. Anxiety reduces. Anxiety is a emotional trigger to I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, I'm not valuable, if I didn't already say that. The world is scary. So as you start to change your identity, anxiety goes away. I'm powerful, I'm confident, I'm courageous, I can handle anything that happens in my life. So I've never experienced anxiety. The nervous system stops running threat scan from old identity model. Tolerance strengthens. Discomfort is processed as growth signal, not threat. Memory improves. Identity consistent events are encoded more deeply and recalled more readily. Again, as you start looking for past examples of being courageous, confident, certain, and abundant, they will come up more easily. Behavioral consistency increases across all domains. The mind reorganizes around the new signal. Perspective on life widens. The filter through which reality is perceived shifts at a fundamental level. 5 minutes per night. That is the maintenance cost of a completely different identity. The men who skip this step eventually drift back. The men who do it compound forward indefinitely. Again, you either conquer the old self by installing the new identity, or you will be conquered by the old identity. The choice is yours. Okay, what makes this system work? The whole mind approach. This system works on the entire mental architecture simultaneously. The beliefs that form the identity model, the emotional charge that holds the limiting evidence in place, and the behavioral conditioning that expresses the identity in the world. Addressing all three at once is what produces permanent change. It is about the entire system. Most change programs work on one layer. Therapy works on the emotional and logical level. Coaching works on the behavioral. Mindset works on the beliefs. This system addresses all three in a single session because all three are required. Missing one layer means the others revert. One session, 60 to 90 minutes for the full installation. This is not a 90-day program, although it does take 90 days to install. It is not a year of journaling. It is a precise intervention that targets the actual mechanism of identity formation and replaces the content. The 5-minute daily protocol is maintenance, it's reinforcement, not construction. The construction happens in the session. If you watch this again and pause it and do the assignments, like I said, that's all you got to do. You got to get clear on who it is you want to become. You got to go through and clear out the skeletons in the closet. You got to create a new identity, and then you got to play it every day. Okay, this is not about becoming someone else. Every man who completes this system discovers the same thing. The identity that installs is not foreign. It does not feel imposed. It feels like something that was always there, underneath the doubt, the hesitation, the patterns that were installed before you had any say in the matter. Confidence, courage, certainty, and abundance are not traits you have to construct from nothing. They are traits that were suppressed by evidence that should never have had the weight it was given. This system removes that evidence, it builds new evidence, it installs the operating system that reflects who you actually are when the old limitations are removed. This is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming who you already are at the level where it actually counts. Okay? So, again, if you are someone who has either achieved a high level of success, but you still feel empty inside, I know there's a lot of you out there. You've been chasing after material success, hoping that that was going to fill the emptiness you feel inside, then this is exactly what you need. This video is exactly what you need to go in and to actually go back and heal that wounded identity that was installed a long time ago. Or if you're someone who no matter how hard you try, you self-sabotage, so you're not able to create the results that you want in life, this video is going to share with you, it's going to teach you step by step how to go through, how to create a new identity, and how to install it the right way the first time. If you want to learn more, if you like this video, number one, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Also, check out our free school community. There's a lot of value in there. You can get access to my CERT, my SIRT, subconscious identity reprogramming technology. These are audio recordings that you listen to every morning and every night to help you compound the details that I went over in this video. So if you like that, check everything out. It's in the description below. Other than that, I will see you on the next video. Peace.